Greetings. Welcome to the course of Electromagnetics. Today's topic is Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law defines the force between the two charges. Let the two charges are being separated with the distance of r meters. Let the two charges are q1 and q2. Okay, the distance between the two charges is the r vector r bar, and the unit vector directing the force from q1 to q2 is given by ar. Then Coulomb's law defines that the force between the two charges is directly proportional to the product of these two charges, and also defines that the force between these two charges is inversely proportional to the square of distance between these two charges. Combined together, force is directly proportional to the product of two charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between these two charges. Right? To remove the proportion, I introduce one proportionality constant and is given by F is equal to K into Q1 and Q2 by R square, where K is a proportionality constant and it is defined as K is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, where the epsilon naught is the permittivity of the free space. And it is given by epsilon naught is given by 1 by 36 pi into 10 raised to minus 9. So, the epsilon naught is the permittivity of the free space having the unit of farads per meter. So, permittivity indicates that the capacitive nature of the free space. So, if I substitute here to get a constant K, which is given by 1 by 4 pi into, what is epsilon? It is 1 by 36 pi into 10 raised to minus 9. So this pi and this pi, 4 ones are 4 nines are, I will take the 9 to the numerator and this 10 power 9 also. And the K is given by 9 into 10 raised to 9. Since the epsilon naught is in the denominator with the unit of farads per meter, I am taking the denominator to the numerator so that it is meters per farad. Okay. Now, according to the Coulomb's law, the force between the two charges is given by the K value is 9 into 10 raised to 9. K value is this one, and this is the Q1, Q2 upon R square. The unit of the force is newtons per meter. So the Coulomb's law defines the relation between the force between the two charges. So it is directly proportional to the product of two charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between this. So by combining together, we obtain the Coulomb's law as the force between the two charges in this way. So 9 into 10 power 9 is the value of a K and Q1 Q2 upon R square. Now we know that the force between the two charges is a vector. Now let us obtain the force in a vector form. Or Coulomb's law in vector form. Let there are two charges Q1 and Q2. Let direction of force is from Q1 to Q2. It is given by R bar. Let the Q1 is at a distance of R1 bar. So this is a distance vector from origin to the point Q1. Let this Q2 is at a distance of R2. So the direction of the force is given by the unit vector of AR. Now, according to the Coulomb's law, we know that the force between the two charges is given by K into by r square. In a vector form, so it is r square into the force is directed from q1 to q2, which is given by ar. Now let us in detail obtain the value of ar and r square and substitute in this one. So what is ar, the unit vector? We know that the unit vector is nothing but distance vector by magnitude of a distance vector. R bar by magnitude of distance vector. Now what is this distance vector is? It is a distance between these two point charges, right? So this is the distance of r1 and this is the distance of r2. Like for example, if it is having the coordinates of 3, 2 and 1, this is having the coordinates are -1, 1 and 0 something. Okay? Then what is r2 bar? This is a distance vector from origin, right? What is r2 bar is given by -1 ax right, plus 1 ay and plus 0 into az. So in whole I can give it as r2 bar is -ax plus ay, az term is 0. In the same way, what is r1 bar is, the r1 bar is given by 3ax plus 2ay plus 1 az, right? So if you want to find the distance between these two, what we do? So r2 minus r1, right? r2 is what? r2 is a distance from the origin. In the vector form we wrote in that. And r1 is a distance vector from the origin, right? Or in general we can call it as a position vector. So r1 and r2 are the position vectors and r bar is a distance vector. Now let us write r bar. What is r bar is? r2 bar minus r1 bar, right? So r bar, the distance vector is given by r2 minus r1. r2 bar minus r1 bar. In general, r2 and r1 for the points of these two are shown here, right? So ar, the unit vector is given by the vector r bar, the distance vector r bar, divided by the magnitude of this vector. So the magnitude of this vector is given by magnitude of r2 minus r1. So for the coordinates shown here, for the better understanding, I consider the coordinates of r2 and r1. Okay. So for r bar is given by what? R bar is given by r2 bar minus r1 bar. Means this minus this. So the r bar is given by, this is r2 minus r1. So it is 1 minus ax into 4ax. It is 3ax. So it is what? It is minus 4ax. Ay minus 2ay. It is minus ay. Okay. And here is az term is 0. Minus az is, it is az. So in this way we can find the value of r bar, right? So unit vector is given by distance vector divided by the magnitude of a distance vector. What the distance vector is? The distance from the point q1 to q2. So the unit vector ar is given by the distance vector r bar, which is nothing but r2 minus r1 by the magnitude of this distance vector r2 minus r1. What is the magnitude of this vector? What is this r bar now? It is now the subtraction of r2 minus r1. What is the magnitude of this one? The magnitude of this one is nothing but this is minus 4 whole square plus 1 square plus this is minus 1 square and this is minus 1 square. So it is given by magnitude is given by 16 plus 1 plus 1, it is under the root of 18. Okay. No need to be confused with the r2 and r1. The r2 and r1 are the position vectors, the vectors which shows the distance of q2 from the origin. Okay. And this shows the distance from origin to the point q1. Okay. Now what we are doing? We are obtaining the force by using Coulomb's law in a vector form. So which is given by F is equal to K into Q1 Q2 upon R square. So what is R square means? R square means from this one magnitude of R square, which is nothing but magnitude of R2 minus R1 square. is this. So this is R2 minus R1 by magnitudes of R2 minus R1. Okay, what is this? This is the Coulomb's law in vector form. Understand? In general, we have seen in the previous derivation, the Coulomb's law just defined as force, right? It is just defined as F is equal to K into Q1 Q2 upon R square, right? So we need to represent the force in a vector form. So in this derivation, we obtain the force between two charges from the Coulomb's law in a vector form is given in this manner. Okay. Now our question is that whether the force exerted between only two charges or any group of charges. Now we will consider three charges, so which show some force on the third charge. Then how to obtain or how to derive the force for among all the three charges. Okay. Now force due to the multiple charges. Now let us derive the equation of force on charge Q because of number of charges. Let us give me three charges or four charges. How the force will be exerted on one charge. In previous case, we just derived that force between only two charges. Okay, the force vector due to number of charges. Okay, let there is a charge Q. Okay, so the charge Q experiences a force by Q1 randomly. Let it is experiencing the force due to Q2 and let it is experiencing the force due to Q3. Okay, so the Q1, the force due to the Q1 okay, and let this is at a point of something. This is Q2 and this is at a distance of this one. So unit vector directing the force by Q1 on Q, right? So the direction of force Q1 by on Q. So the direction of force is given by in this direction. So let the unit vector is A1, okay, and the direction of force by Q2 on Q is given by A2, okay. The direction of force on Q because of Q3 is given by A3. Okay. Let the Q is at a distance of R bar, at a distance of vector R bar. Let the Q1 is at a distance of vector distance of R1 bar from the origin, okay. And let the Q2 is at a vector distance of R2 bar and Q3 is at a vector distance of R3 bar. Now, so what we do, we apply the superposition principle to find the force on Q due to the Q1, Q2 and Q3. Means what? So while I am calculating the force on Q due to the Q1 and I am not going to consider the force due to Q2 and Q3. Means the force exerted on one point charge Q is only due to the one charge at a time. Okay. Now let the force due to the charge Q1 on Q. Okay, that is given by let it be F1. So what is the formula? We know that the K into these two charges, right? What those two charges are? Q1, Q2 upon, right, distance. Distance means what? What the distance is? Let it be R1. The distance is of R1 meters. What the R1 is? So R1 is nothing but this is at a distance of R meters from the origin. This is at a distance of R1 meters. Now this R1 is a distance from Q1 to Q, Q1 to Q, right? So we are how can we calculate the value of R1 bar? Okay, the distance between these two charges, right? The distance between from Q to Q1, from Q to Q1, from the Q is nothing but R1, R bar. From Q to Q1, Q1 is at a distance of R1 bar. Now, what is the unit vector AR1? AR1 is given by distance vector means R minus R1 by magnitude of distance vector means R minus R1 bar. Now, the force experienced by Q due to the Q1 is given by K into Q1 Q by R square. R is nothing but this one only. R minus R1 R square into AR1. AR nothing but R bar minus R1 bar by magnitude of R1 minus R1 bar. Now this is F1. As I said that we are going to use the superposition principle, means while we are calculating the force due to the 1 point charges, then remaining 2 point charges the force will be 0 only. Now let us consider that force by Q2 on Q. Okay, that is indicated by F2. So what is F2 is given by the force on Q due to the Q2, right? The formula is again the same, K into the product of these two charges, that is Q2 product of these two charges divided by the distance. Let the distance is given by R2. The vector distance is given, distance vector is given by R2. R2 square means square of the distance into unit vector radiating from Q1, so Q2 to Q, which is given by A2. Now let us find the value of A2 and R2 and we substitute here, then we will get the vector form of F2 means the force on Q due to Q2. So the unit vector A2 is given by the distance vector of R2 by the magnitude of distance vector of R2. Now what is this R2 is, the distance vector is, now here it is, right? So what is this R2? The Q2 is at a distance of R bar from origin and the Q and the Q2 at a distance of R2, right? We are calculating the distance of R2 here means this point minus this point. What is this one is R bar and what is this distance is R2 bar. So this is R bar minus R2 bar by magnitude of the distance is magnitude of this. So I write the unit vector, okay, the force by what is A2 is a direction of the force from Q2 to Q and it is given by distance is R bar minus R2 bar by magnitude of R bar minus R2 bar. Okay, then let us substitute these two values here. So we will get the force on Q due to the second charge Q2. So it is K into Q2 by R2 square. What is R2 is this one, magnitude of this. So R minus R2 bar into its unit vector. Unit vector is R bar minus R2 bar by magnitude of R bar minus R2 bar. Right? What is this F2? The F2 is a force on Q due to the Q2. Now, so while I am calculating the force due to the Q2, I will suppress the forces experienced by Q1 and Q3. Now let us find F3. What is F3? Force on Q due to the Q3. It is given by K into the formula we know, the product of two charges Q1, so Q into Q3 by the distance between these two. Let the distance is given by R3 bar, the vector form of distance from Q3 to Q. So this is R3 bar into the unit vector radiating the force from Q3 to Q is given by 8. Right? So now let us find these two values and we will substitute and we will get the vector form of the force F3. So what is the force F3 is? The force F3 is nothing but force given by Q3 or produced by Q3 on Q. Now, so we will find this R3 bar. So what is R3 bar is? Okay, so this is from this point to this point. So this point is at a distance of R bar, radial distance or vector distance of R bar from the origin. Okay, and this is at a vector distance of R3. So we are calculating from this We need the unit vector, and we know that the unit vector is distance vector upon the magnitude of a distance vector. So accordingly I write A3 as distance vector as r minus r3 by the magnitude of a distance is r minus r3 bar. Substituting these two values, okay, in this formula F3. So I will take F3 as K into Q3 by this distance r bar. R3 is given by r minus r3 bar into unit vector. This is r minus r3 by the magnitude of r minus r3. Okay, like that we got three different forces. Now in whole we wanted to calculate what is the force experienced by this charge. Okay, by the charge of Q. What it will be according to superposition principle? It is sum of individual forces introduced by Q1, Q2 and Q3. Now let us club all F1, F2 and F3 so that we can find out the force on Q. Not required to be only 3 charges. If there is even n number of charges, we follow the same procedure. Okay. So let us find the F. So if there is n number of charges, what we do? We will add the individual forces like F1, F2 till n number of charges, whatever it is. Okay. So F is given by this F is given by F1. Okay. Then the F1 and in F2 and in F3, what are the common? K is common and Q is also common, right? K is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon. K and Q are common. I will take the K and Q outside. K into Q is taken outside. Then what is there inside? So it is Q1 by, in the first case, Q1 divided by magnitude of r bar minus r1 bar square into r minus r1 bar divided by magnitude of r minus r1. Right? This for the first charge. Okay. In the same way for the second charge, this will be Q2, this will be R2. Right? Similarly for the third charges, it will extend in the same way. If I write for this, I will make this R1 instead of R1 and take it to general form, and I write as, it will extend to the n number of times. The force is given by K into Q. Okay. Summation, let I varies from 1 to n. This 1 to n indicates the number of charges due to the first charge, due to the second charge, due to the third charge, like that. So if it is due to the first charge, okay, then this is a Qi. So if it is due to the first charge, it will be Q1. If it is due to the second charge, then it will be Q2. If it is because of third, it will be Q3 upon magnitude of R minus Ri. Means this is R1 because the Q1 is at a distance of R1 radial distance from the origin, right? So this I again varies from 1 to n, depends upon the number of charges, into magnitude square into R minus Ri. These two are vectors, right? Okay, like this one, R minus R1, R minus R2 or R minus R3, depends upon the number of charges. So divided by R minus Ri. Okay, so in general we can write that the force on one particular charge due to the multiple charges or due to the n number of charges is given by this formula. Okay. Okay, where you know that K is a proportionally constant and it is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon. Okay, so we can write as epsilon naught. So the epsilon naught indicates permittivity of a free space. In general, if you write as epsilon, then this epsilon will be defined as epsilon naught into epsilon r, where this epsilon naught is giving the permittivity of free space and epsilon r gives a relative permittivity. So what is the permittivity of a free space? Epsilon naught. In previous case we obtained that this epsilon naught is given by 1 by 36 pi into 10 raised to minus 9. force due to the multiple charges and single charge, or force between the two charges. Now, let us move on to one serious topic of electromagnetics, how to obtain or how to derive the electric field. Okay, so we are going to introduce a new term, E bar. Okay, electric field. Okay, so field means known, right? Or the region means known, right? So what it is, field or region where it can influence others, right? For example, every person, the home will be of their region or their field, because the person in the home can influence other persons in the home, right? So field or the region is nothing but which experiences some force, which exerted some force on other parameters, other elements in their boundary or in this region. Means how big the field can be generated. Let there is a point charge Q. Okay, let there is a point charge Q. I am bringing from infinite distance and let this be Q1 for our understanding. So let I am taking one more charge of Q2. I took to this place, so no influence on the Q2. Okay, okay. I moved little closer, no influence. I moved little closer. Yes, I am here. So with the charge Q2. Okay. So now the charge Q2 start experiencing the force by Q1. What type of a force? The force may be an attractive or repulsive force, because if these two charges are same forces, then there will be a repulsion. If these two charges will be opposite charges, then there will be an attraction, right? So I took this point, that second charge Q2 to this point, it start experiencing some force by Q1. So I moved here, right? So here the Q2, again it is experiencing some force. I moved here, again it is experiencing some force. Okay. So again I moved here, so again it is experiencing some force. Moved here, it is experiencing some force, right? It has been moved here, it is again experiencing some force. I have moved, it has been moved here, again it is experiencing some force, right? It shows some boundary, right? So what we are discussing about? We are discussing about electric field, right? So at every point here, it is exerting some force, right? It is exerting some force. Here also it is showing some force in this direction. Okay? It is also showing some force, right? It is also showing some force. Okay? The direction of force. It is also experiencing some force. The direction of force is this. Here also it is showing some force and direction of force is this. It is also showing some force and it is showing the direction of force in this way. Right? Means, so up to one region it is showing some, it is showing the force on other charge, right? So now if I combine all these points together, okay, now here it is showing some region, right? The region may not be a circular path, but most of the cases we will consider the region means we will consider the circular path only, right? Now it is showing some region, right? What this region is? What this region is? This is the region of electric field. Because it is the region has been produced due to the point charges, right? The Q1 is a point charge and Q2 is due to the point charges, right? So it is generating some field around it, and it is called as an electric field, right? Then how to obtain equation of electric field? Okay, obviously the electric field equation must be derived from the force only, because it is showing some force on the charges in its region, right? So how to obtain it? So we know the formula for the force, right? So the force is given by the K into means K I can write as a 4 pi epsilon naught, and it is Q1, Q2 between the two charges divided by R square, distance vector between these two, into ER, right? So this is one. Now then here Q1 is constant, it is experiencing, it is showing the force on its region, right? So means the Q1 is showing the force on the charges in its region. Let the charges is Q2 only, okay? Force on Q2. Now the force per charge is called as an electric field E bar. Okay, so E bar is given by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 by R square into. Why this is given? Q1 is generating electric field. So what is the electric field of Q1? It is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. What is this epsilon naught again? It is the permittivity of its free space, means what is the space where the charge is placed. Okay, Q1 by distance means distance from this to the other charges, R square into R. Okay, so in this subject, means in the course of electromagnetics, you are going to see the different terminologies, means different abbreviations or different notations. Okay, the first term we have introduced till now is only E bar. Okay, so what is the E bar? E bar indicates electric field or electric field intensity, or we can call as electric field strength also. So what is the E bar is? The E bar is electric field engendered or electric field intensity or electric field strength, and it is given by what? So electric field E bar is nothing but electric field or electric field intensity or electric field strength. Okay, once you are thorough with terminologies of this subject, and if you are thorough with the formulas to be calculated with each term or formula related to each term, then this subject will be very simple and very easy. So when and where required, I will introduce a term with its notations and the formula and with explanation. So E bar, electric field intensity, electric field strength or electric field in general can be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught engendered the charge Q by the distance vector square into the unit vector. Okay, this is the formula for electric field. Okay, now what we will do?